Going on, guys? Happy Friday. It is Friday, right? Yeah, it's Friday. All right, what's up, Optimus? Happy Friday. All right, so running a couple minutes late today. No big deal. Looks like the market's ripping, which is awesome because we've had so many straight days of the market just giving back profit after profit after profit, hundreds of dollars on the ES. So it's nice and somewhat reassuring to go into the weekend with a sort of ripping day. Let's go ahead and throw up some charts here, and you can see ES is making new highs, 37.99. New highs in the day, I should say, and likely we're going to see pretty heavy resistance at that 3,800 zone. We've seen resistance at the 3,800 zone like probably all month. Rather, I was gonna say all week, but really it's kind of all month. Gonna jump out to like a 20-day chart. You can see up here just over the last 20 days, um, our high was 39.28. But you can see like if we zoom in here a bit, that this 3,800 zone right here, where that red uh, support and resistance line is that we drew in, this area acted as resistance for quite a while before it finally broke out and went up to in that 3,900 zone. So this 3,800 area of resistance is likely going to be a very strong area of resistance today. We're just getting started on the stream, and this rip has been going on since about 6:45 or so. Will you let me zoom in here, chart? Thank you. So this rip has been going on for quite some time. Uh, Really, just over the last hour, this rip has been moving. So you can even see on the hourly chart, we had this 1 hour pullback here where it had a huge range on the candle. That was the opening bell from like 6 to 7. And then we've pretty much just been ripping since this whole last hour. Jumping onto a 3 minute chart and just taking a look at the overall trend, you can see that we're moving pretty well to the upside. This flip began to happen right at 7 o'clock, 6:45, 7 o'clock. I'm actually going to say more like 6:45. We bounced off this 200 moving average on the 3 minute chart and just ripped off of that. So at 37.50, that was our area of resistance yesterday, and now we're breaking past that quite well actually. Got a doji up here at the top after one, two, three moves. So kind of a little bit of a bull type, or I should say a flag type situation up here at the top. After that many rips in a row, typically I don't like taking another trade on it, but you can see the 35 is still above the 26, so it's looking relatively decent. And actually join the bid right here on the sim, and we're in at 37.95. We've got to exit at 98. I think that might be a little aggressive, but we'll see. We've already got a move, like a $2 move to the upside, so okay, gonna cut it right there. Okay, so we made 625 off that very first trade. That was our very first trade of the day. Not a bad first trade. Definitely not a bad first trade. We took this trade based off the momentum of the 3 minute chart and the idea that we're going to come up here and test highs, which we are just 75 cents away from testing that high. New high in the day. Broke past 3,800. Heavily broke past 3,800. Jumping over to the evaluation here for a second. Wanted to get on before that big, huge rip up, but a little late on the entry, so I'm not going to do it. I may take a little bit of a swing here in the eval, go for 8 ticks. Maybe a bounce off the 38.02. But there's only 10 seconds left in this candle, but still, this is a fresh cyan candle. Join the bid there at 02.75.
Order filled.
Should have got in at point 2 or 02. Our exit, our intended exit is 04 0.75. I'm gonna drop that down to just two ticks up.
Order filled.
All right, we got out of that trade with some profit. So that's $103 in the evaluation today. Today seems like a really good day to trade in the eval. So we're green on the eval, $140.76. We got a fresh cyan candle on that other one, but we are really like kind of an area of pullback still. Even though we got this fresh rip and this new high, you can see it rejected right at the exact area of resistance that we had drawn in some weeks back. Look at this. If I zoom in here, you can see how close that was. Came up, ripped through it, and came right back down. We had our resistance at 3803, not 3800, because apparently at the time that we made that area of resistance, we were probably bumping into 3803 over and over again. So I hope everyone else is doing awesome out there. We haven't been streaming very long. We've only been streaming for 6 minutes, and in that time, we made a $625 trade in the sim and a $103 trade in the evaluation. So looking hot today. Definitely looking really nice today. Um, my apologies for being a little late today. I'm I'm trying to adapt my schedule a bit, and it's definitely causing like making it challenging to get up in the morning somewhat. I'm trying to adjust my schedule to be able to accommodate like an earlier wake up time at around like 3 o'clock or so in the morning, and then um, and then hopefully have enough energy to be able to get through the day. But one of the issues that I come run up against is that I'll be able to get through the day and be okay. But then, like, as we get towards the end of the night, I like wake up and then I'm like, I'm like super awake now. And it's like 11 o'clock, but I should already be asleep. So that's really kind of what I'm battling. Let's see. News looks mostly positive today. Um, we're seeing that the Dow climbed 500 points. The stocks look to snap back from 4-day losing streak. The Fed is says it's too early to tell how high benchmark interest rates need to go. They always say it's too early to tell for everything, literally everything. Anything that they've ever spoken about in the history of the Federal Reserve has all said it's too early to tell. Um, and then whatever it is happens, and then they're like, "Oh, we never could have known because it was too late to tell." Um, and if you listen to a lot of the conversations from the Fed, they basically say the exact same thing. There's no way we could ever comment on that. It's too early to tell. Oh, it already happened. There's no way we could have known. It's too late to tell. And it's just like it's so consistent. So um, you really have to like read between the lines with it with what it is that they're saying a lot of the time. So there's sort of like uh, a double speak aspect to it. So you really need to like kind of just read the person who is giving the speech. It's usually Jerome Powell. So try and read his body language and just sort of interpret what they're talking about, what they're actually really saying a lot of the time. Um, I don't know why I like to go off on that type of stuff, but sometimes I do. Job creations slowed to 261k. Fed says it's still too strong. Um, so the Fed wants this recession. They want the pullback, and I think that's a good thing. I think that aligns with the interests of American economy and Americans in general. While we may not think that we want a recession, um, recession is actually good for us to a large degree. TTM moving from 15 to 17 on the 5 minute chart at the top of this wedge here up at the near the highs. I think recession is good for Americans because I think it will give prices an opportunity to kind of come back down to earth. Although they'll never be as low as they were prior to COVID and prior to the inflation run, but but nonetheless, they will come down somewhat. And I think that one of the things that's also really valuable during recessions is that every time we have a recession, America makes more millionaires than any other time in history. And I think that's one thing that is awesome about our economy is that we have those opportunities that come up and become available. And I think that during a recession, it allows for opportunity across the board. And that's really important to think about because uh, you may have people who are in relative poverty and whatever the case may be, and entering into recession allows a lot of people who may be in relative poverty to have opportunities to work their way out of it. Because there are deals all over the place. There's supply that becomes heavy glut in certain areas. So it can be anything from like retail arbitrage to online businesses to it's the multitude of different ways. What's going on, Tiny? Good morning. Never believe a word they say. uh, yeah, I mean, I don't think it's necessarily about believing what they say or not believing what they say, but although, it is pretty challenging too. But I think that a lot of it is more about like, what are they saying without saying it? It's like, it's like if you ever listen to hip hop, there's a lot of like double entendres and like triple entendres. Like it's like one way to say something that has like five, six different meanings sometimes. And I think that really, when we listen to these people speak who do have a lot of control over the markets, um, when we listen to them, we really need to be like thinking about like what is the intention behind these words, not just the words themselves. Like, what's the intention um, and how is that affecting markets? And because the reality of it is that the market makers they've been doing this for a very long time, and um, they know how to do it. They know how to read those guys, and so I think that that really makes a big difference if you take the time to just sort of ask those questions. And there's even a fair amount of YouTube channels that are pretty dedicated to just interpreting what the Fed says, just in regards to the economy. We got a little bit of a resistance line there, if you guys see it. Um, it's right here and then right here, and then also here in this area. So it's almost like an ABCD pattern in the top, but with the A A B with the B at the spike. So typically, if the B is the spike of the ABCD, then at that point I'm usually looking for a larger pullback. So I could see us potentially having pullbacks to this EMA 35, which pushes down to like 37.90, potentially as low as the 50 EMA. But if we drop below that, then I think that we're trying to reverse. Um, we are getting if you look very closely on these indicators, you can see that the 26 simple moving average is looking at potentially crossing above the 9 and the 12 exponential moving average. And if it does, like it just did right there, we're likely going to get a push down. Um, like I said, probably towards that 35. That 35 here is at 90, and we're at currently, so I'm going to short there. Got the entry on the short at 93 and a half. And I'm looking for 12 ticks to the downside. So close, but I'm just going to cut it right there. I guess we actually just got the whole thing. So that's up $1,375 on the day. That was an awesome short right at the very beginning of the 1226 crossover. It's somewhat difficult in order to actually grab that move. So I'm pretty grateful that we grabbed it today. And like I said, be looking for it to bounce off the 35. Do you see how it came just right to the 35 and then rip right back up? It just went slightly below the 35, but not much. So That's one of my favorite moves. It's a difficult move to capture, but if you can capture it, it's usually pretty profitable. And I might actually put together a video just on that move alone. So I also mentioned a pullback to the 50. There we are. We pulled back to the 50. We're actually breaking through it somewhat, but it's on the current candle, so there's a high probability that we may come back. There's 20 or so seconds left in this candle. I wish that that trade, that fatty trade that it just did, was actually in the evaluation. But c'est la vie. So from 2.0 to 3.5 of momentum on the toward the downside. 2 seconds left in this candle. I wouldn't be surprised though if it pops back up here, or at least kind of like rides support along the 50. If it doesn't though, on this next candle, this one opening green, if it doesn't though, then we're likely going to trend reverse, at least somewhat. You can see that this almost became like a head and shoulders pattern. There's a shoulder there. There's the head. Here's the right shoulder. It's kind of turned away. He's got a big right shoulder and a tiny left shoulder. Um, or a tiny right shoulder, depending on how you look at it. Getting a bounce off of this 3781, which was a area of support and resistance that we had put in some time back. So what I'd be looking for next is a yellow on the TTM, which will likely give us a rip back towards the top. Also got this doji on the bottom here. Gonna join the bid right there. See if we can get that entry. Missed the entry. Now joining the bid here. Might even get a bender entry if we're lucky. Alright, so we entered at 85.5 and looking for a move back up towards the 35. It's a little risky of a trade, so I'll cut it quick if I have to. I say it's risky because we're still red in the TTM and we're below the 50. I'm taking this based off of past history, where a lot of times we'll drop like right below the 50, ride it for a second, and then rip right back up. And so I'm taking that based off of that. I don't like that this is opening red. Okay, it's popping green. There we go. All right, almost got this trade. Cutting it right there. Took $312.50 off that. Up $1,750 on the day in the sim. And jumping over to the eval now, is I'm going to be looking to catch that red yellow move. If we happen to get it. Huge pullback though. Hitting resistance at that 50. Really almost hit resistance at that 9. 5 seconds left in this candle. Big sell off. Look at those bears. Momentum on TTM went from red 6.6 to red 7.6 to red 8.7. So moving at a factor of 1 on the 1 minute chart. That's pretty strong downward momentum. Switching to the 3. The 3 hasn't caught up with us yet. The 5 is nowhere near catching up with us in terms of the overall trend. So right now the 1 minute chart is our friend. Hit resistance twice at the 9 EMA. You can see it right here and here. So I'm really looking for that red yellow move. You can see the momentum beginning to level off here because we went from 6-6 to 7-6 to 8-1. So it went from going from 1 point to going to half a point, and now we're at 8.5. So there's another half point. Seems to be holding this 75 level reasonably well, or 85 level, sorry. By the way, when I say 85 level, I'm not talking about exactly 85. I'm talking about this range right in here, which is like from this EMA 35 to around. So between like, I'm gonna say between 85 and 80. So momentum picked back up towards the downside, 7.6 to 8.1 to 9.0 to 10.0. So momentum stacked pretty decently toward the downside, but again, kissing this support level that we drew in here a couple of days or weeks ago. I don't really know when we did this. I wish they would put a date on these. I think that'd be awesome. I don't know when we did this, but whenever we did it, it was correct. I can't even go back like that. I'm gonna measure this against the 3 now. See if we have a little bit more info on the 3. 21 to 18 to 13. So the 3 is actually showing a lot of drop in the momentum from 18 to 13. That's a 5.0 drop on the TTM in the 3-minute chart. On the 3-minute chart, you can see that we're bouncing right around the EMA 35. Next 3-minute candle is at the top of the hour, which is in about 25 seconds. Have I thought about have I thought about starting off in my eval and then moving over to the sim later when I lose? I have thought about that. I personally like just starting in the evaluation because uh, okay, we're back. That was crazy. My whole internet just froze for a second. It's scary. Yeah, I've thought about trading in the eval first and then switching over. I trade in the sim first because it just kind of warms me up. And if I get a dope trade in the sim but not in the eval, that's okay. I'd rather stay safe and trade with my emotional momentum as well as the chart momentum. Because I need to make sure that I align my spirit with what it is that I'm doing first before I just start jumping into something else. Personally, that matters a lot to me, and I just don't. I don't want to just go in raw, so to speak, to trading in the evaluation. I want to actually kind of ease into that. 5-minute chart going from 15 to 17, back up here towards these highs, to remaining stationary around 17, and then now breaking out a little bit toward the from 17.8 to 18.7. So a little bit of a breakout on the 5-minute chart. Got a nice bounce there. Jumping back to the 3. The 3, our next candle's at 8:03. So the 3 is showing downward trending. The 5 is showing upward trending. And all of it right now is kind of in flux. Got a possible crossover happening on the 1-minute chart. That was the yellow breakout I was looking to take there in the evaluation. Didn't happen. Just I was messing with other charts, and we got that weird leg issue. It happened right at the top of the hour. So we went from 10.3 to 9.0 to 7.3 to 5.9. That's looking really good in terms of momentum. Gonna join the bid here. I knew I should have waited for that pullback. My intuition said to wait for that pullback, and it didn't. Got a doji up here at the top. It is what it is. I still think we'll be okay. We're looking to exit this trade at 93 and a quarter. We entered at 90 and a quarter. Certainly could have got a better entry on this. This is forming a bit of a red hammer candle. I think this is going to pop 7.3, 7.3 to 5.9. Jumping over to eval. Not going to join the bid yet. I want to wait for this next candle. Seven three 5.9. Five nine to 5.0. This should be our new 3-minute candle. We also have a possible crossover on the 1 minute. New 3-minute candle went from 11.8 to 8.9. So we're gonna need that crossover. Ooh, big pullback. We're gonna need that crossover to happen in order for this trade to confirm. Right now, the 9 needs to get above the 12 for this trade to confirm. You can see the flag pattern there. 5.9 to 4.6 to 3.5. Momentum is stacking, but no breakout yet. 9 still below 12. Once that 9 crosses above 12, which I think it'll be on the next candle or possibly this candle, I think that will get that breakout. Bounced out that 50. 1, 2, 3, 4. .6 to 4.0. This definitely should have broke out already. I'm gonna check the 5. Fresh new 5-minute candle. Still cyan. From 17.8 to 18.5 to 19.7. That's a lot of stacking on the... I do think this thing's gonna break out, but when? You know, and chart pattern's not correlating with the TCM. 4.6 to 3.7 to 3.5. Whew, this is a tough trade. I think I may need to just cut this. We've already given back a lot of profit, like a ton of profit, most of our profit on the day, on this particular trade. I was looking for that breakout above for that 1226 crossover. Didn't happen. You can see actually the pull down. So yeah, I definitely should have cut this already. Let's see if this pops here. Nope. Music stopped. Sorry, I didn't realize I didn't have my charts up. Happens sometimes. All right, dojing at the bottom now. I don't like that the TTM kind of leveled off. So this breakout never happened. And we took a big fat loss on this trade. Which we're still currently in. Nine just crossed below 50. I gotta cut it and take the loss. Is what it is. Down 687.50 from being up almost 2K. I lost more than 2 grand on that one. That is 100% my fault yet again on failing risk management. Something I'm working on. It's definitely a very difficult area for me sometimes. We have conflicting information right now. On the 1 minute chart, we're showing stacking. On the 3 minute chart, we're showing downward trend. And on the 5 minute chart, we're showing upward trend. So, red on CCM3. Not 76. I'm short here off 78.5. Looking for 8 ticks down. So my exit is right at the 50. Putting exit at 78. Alright, we got that. There's 3 ticks to the downside. Down 500 bucks on the day off 5 trades. Obviously, we're up almost 2 grand. And we lost, over 2 grand on that last trade, which was totally unnecessary. It's my fault entirely. Not just because of the trade, but because I didn't manage my risk well. Trading the 3 minute chart at the moment. I'm sure right there. I feel like I should have shorted it a little earlier. I feel like there was an opportunity there. Just going for 2 ticks to the down. Alright, got that 2 tick down. We have yellow stacking yet again, but not much. I wouldn't even call it stacking. Because it went from like 4.1 to 4 to 3.9. So I'm not going to call that stack because it's not at that factor of 0.7 or higher like we normally look for. Alright, that's it for coffee. Hey, it's all good. You don't need to apologize for leaving or any of that kind of stuff, you know? I just appreciate you showing up. And yeah, we'll get it back. We've almost already gotten all of it back, so it's no big deal. I had a supplement on an option. Even though it's 3 cents away, that's like trading it, just taking the stop. Yeah. Okay. Let's see if we can bounce here. I don't think that we will though. Everything is telling us to go short at the moment. So I guess the short zone would be down to 70. I'm gonna trade there on the short side. Wish I would have hit it earlier when I was talking. Sometimes it's challenging to like talk and trade at the same time. Our entry is at 74. I think we could have got a better entry. 4.7 to 5.4 to the down. 5.8. Let's pop them back up. Ooh. It's amazing how fast it can get away from you, you know? Like, just that little pop there was a grand. It's really amazing just like how fast it can switch like that. Measuring three. Three just got a 26-12 crossover. 26 in the upper. 1.5 to 5.1 off here. Pretty short there. Entered in short at 76.5. Looking to exit. My exit's all the way down at 71. It might be a little aggressive. Check the 5. 5 switching over to the cooling. Take a profit here. Made 312.5 on that. Bouncing off the EMA 35 on the 5. Be looking for this to break down and then come test this 50 EMA. Moving short here off 75. I'm looking for a move down to 70 now. Again, might be kind of aggressive. $73.25 is my intended exit now. Gonna cut that there. Alright, made $187.50 off that. Down a grand. Our peak of the day profit was like 1900 or so. So definitely could have done a lot better in terms of risk management. I was holding 75 just a little too well for me to go take shorts in the eval, but I want to short this in the evaluation. I'm on the 3. From 5.2 to 8.9 on the 3 TTM. On the 1, we're starting to get a yellow candle. Again, red to yellow. From 6.8 to 6.9. Because of this, because this didn't break out here and it kind of like broke back down, I don't think I'll be taking a red to yellow move. Really wanted to see it more like red to yellow like that. That's what I was hoping for there. His head and shoulders played out pretty perfectly. So we'll be looking for the bottom. Probably my guess is around 70, which is where this resistance zone was back here. So I'll be looking for that bounce off of around this zone here, which is right where the 200 simple moving average is. Now remember, we've had this sort of like this theory for a while that if the 50 or 200 crossed above the VWAP, that we may end in more of a bearish territory. But you know what? I I don't think that that theory is correct. And I say that because like it the 50 or sorry the 200 moving average was above the VWAP this entire bull run. This entire move here from like what 3760 all the way up to 3800. So that huge move was all the 200 was above the VWAP. So I don't think that that is a accurate theory, and I think I'll probably ditch that theory, that idea. It really was just an idea, something to just kind of like test against. But I'm not seeing that it plays out in reality. So definitely not going to continue with that ideology. Interesting day. We're up almost 2 grand. Now we're down 1,000 in the sim. Still up $100 in the evaluation, so that's nice. Got a possible crossover happening on the 1 minute chart with no other correlation though. We don't have the TTM. And we don't have the 9 above the 12. The other correlation that we do have though is the 35 moved above the 26. Um, so we do have some correlation for trend reversal. Possible crossover, and I suppose that exit would be here at 80. Um, volume is looking decent at 4,500. New candle forming in 5 seconds. I actually think we might pop off this. Let's see. Doji again at the top. Is this going to repeat what it did up here? We saw the doji at the top and then kind of like created a little bit of a flag, another doji, and then drop down. Is it going to do that again? If it does, our drop down point is here at 70. So that's exactly what it did. So it ripped down, geez, 20 points. Ripped down 20 ticks off that. See, that was a crazy rip down. Should have shorted right there. Could have got that full 20. $20 ticks at 5 contracts, I think is $1,250 by the way. Big push back up. That's something that did not happen here. So here when this pushed down, I was looking for this to happen. We'll see if it holds, but it'll have to get above like 78. Hit resistance there at 9. Go short here. So went short at the top of that 9 though. I'm probably gonna have to cut this. Yeah, I'm gonna cut that. Ah, it didn't like exit my trade. 312 and a half loss on that. From 7.3 to 6.6. Really, I'm just gonna look for the 9 to cross above the 12. Probably not gonna take any trades in the eval until that happens. Well, that's frustrating. We didn't even need to cut that trade. It would have just worked out. But you don't know what you don't know. 7.3 to 6.8, about a half point. By the way, if y'all chilling, y'all hanging out, make sure you like, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. We were streaming for 45 minutes. We actually haven't talked about anything involving our community. Um, so we got this awesome Discord community, guys, and if you guys are interested and are looking to have a community that will talk to you guys about futures, investments, crypto trading, um, any of that other type of stuff, make sure you check out our Discord group. We also talk about entrepreneurship as well. The conversation is a little light right now. We're a brand new community, and also I'm currently doing a bunch of other stuff that's happening offline that will eventually provide better brand and better everything here online. And so I'm currently doing a lot of that type of stuff. Um, so we're still growing basically. But check out our Discord group. It's just soulstrade.com/Discord. And there's also a link in the description as well. Join the bid right here. Got an entry at 78, 37.78. Nine's still below the 12, but we are getting a really nice push up. Our exit point's at 80. TTM went from 6.8 to 5.7 to 4.5, so TTM's looking nice. I really want to see this 9 get above the 12. It's been really lagging behind, um, unfortunately, and I've been looking for it for a while, because once it does, we'll have a lot more solidification to the upside. Um, but this is the area that I was hoping that we pulled back to, was like right in this zone, and then bounce off that, because I don't want to see it come back up and test highs and do a new trend reversal. So that's the hope. We got this green upside down hammer. Looking strong. TTM went from 5.7 to 4.5, so that's 1.2, to 3.3, so that's another 1.2. So TTM's looking pretty good. Probably gonna need to see the cyan switch though. Like truthfully, if we're really gonna see this breakout happen. Kind of seems like an exercise patience kind of day. As is just about every day, but from 3.4 to 2.7. This type of move has happened several times where it'll like doji up here and act like it's about a trend reversal, and then it's failed. So that's why I said like this 9 EMA needs to get above the 12, because that's really going to give us the indicator that we actually need in order to see the trend reversal to the upside. And a lot of other people are going to be looking for the same sort of indicator crossovers as well, so that that'll just even solidify the move to the upside even more. Move went from 4.5 to 3.4 to 2.6, 0.4 to 2.6, 0.8. Still getting that possible crossover. Don't like that there's that doji, but the TTM's looking reasonable. Now it's a 0.7 move. When is this candle over right now? Get a red dot. Went from 3.4 to 2.6 to 1.7. 9's still below 12. We need to end like right here or higher. Fatty rejection yet again. Pulled the exact same move up here. Clearly it is these are kind of like traps right now. Massive rejection. Cut that trade. Down almost 3K now on the day. Should have walked away when I was up too. Sometimes it's kind of frustrating because sometimes like you'll be up like a lot of money really early on in the day, and you're like, oh, well, the day just started, you know. And sometimes it can be challenging to walk away when you've done that and the day has just started. Taking 11 trades so far. Breaking down towards view up. Wow, such a massive dump. From 76 down to 66. That's $10. That's 40 ticks. That's a lot of drop, and it's still dropping. Expecting some shorts to cover, so next candle will likely be green. Join the bid here for just a quick long. That's probably a mistake. Yep, that's definitely a mistake. I was expecting some shorts to cover. Didn't happen out that way. So far this is a $15 drop. 15 times 4, what's that? 60 ticks. That's a 60 tick drop. That's crazy. It's crazy to see that kind of volatility just at like 8:26, just like a random time. The 3-minute predicted this whole thing. Frankly, you could have just shorted off at 90 and just let it ride off the 3-minute chart. 5-minute is a little too slow to be able to manage this kind of momentum. So I guess the move would be all the way down here to what? 50? Wow, still continuing to drop. Taking a big swing here. I'm looking for a move down to 50. Entered in at 59.5. Currently down 1, 2, 3, 4 red candles. Got that trade there, made 312 back. With 1, 2, 3, 4 red candles in a row, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a little bit of green and basically this sort of situation happening before we see another drop. So move like maybe up to the VWAP and then down from there. I think a short off of like 65, maybe 64 might be good. We actually get that entry. Entered into a short off 64. And I think I'll look for a move down to about 60. So if we get that move, it'd be a grand to the downside. Short F 64 seemed like a pretty reasonable spot. Opening red off this doji. Look for a push down to 60. The profit there. Oh, it looks like it actually did go down and hit 60. So that short off 64 was really nice. Maybe like 625 off that. So down 2750 on the day in the sim, up in the evaluation, $100, and up like 150 or so, 140 in the overall. So we were red in the eval. We worked our way back, popping up a little bit off a doji. Be looking for this 9 to act as resistance, and the VWAP as well. So the VWAP being this purple line. That short off 64 was really nice. It was like spot on. Currently at 60 and a half. I think there's potential that we may actually move all the way down to like 50. Our low of the day is down at 40. The fact that we fell all the way from these highs and didn't hold, we barely held the 35. We didn't hold the 50 like at all, and we didn't hold the 200. So we just ran all the way straight down toward the VWAP, and this is like a classic head and shoulders style pattern here. You can see that, you know, kind of worked its way up, got this head here at the top, and then worked its way back down. So have this sort of like pyramid shape or head and shoulders shape. And so the real cue now at this point is, when do we bounce? When do we get the bounce to the upside? I'm going to check the 3-minute chart and just see what the overall trend is looking like. On the 3-minute, we're still stacked to the downside. In fact, if you look at the TTM, it went from 18.4 to 20.2 to 22. So we're still moving with reasonable momentum to the downside. And if you look at the 200 moving average from the 3, it's right around 55. So I'm actually going to go short right here. And look for a move down to that 55. I wish I would have got in at 60. Try and get out at 55 and 3/4. I wish I would have got in at 60. That really was kind of my intention, but it seemed like it was moving. Wow, it recovered quite a bit off of that zone. Checking the 1. 1 is still red. So holding this trade. How much time we got left? 20 seconds left in this candle. Movement from red 7-9, red 8-5 to red 9. Probably going to cut this trade. Hopefully I can cut it with a little bit of profit though. I'm actually just going to put it like 2 ticks below. Hands over the cover button. Cutting it here. Loss of 562 on that. Down 3,375 on the day. I cut that though in the nick of time because you see that this did pop up. We had some poor risk management earlier today. That was what caused us to go red in the first place, since we were up almost $2,000. And our somewhat overall optimism as well as poor risk management caused us to allow our trades to get too red on one of them. Ooh, could have held that. Did pull back pretty heavily. I don't want to chase this. I kind of already missed it, but it did hit that. It literally hit my exact short, and then some. That was based off the not the 5. That was based off the 3 minute. If I can get the 3 minute. That was based off the 3 minute coming down and hitting the 200 moving average. So that's what that trade was based off of. And had I just held it through the pullback, it would have been fine. That's something that I'm trying to learn, but also that it's a delicate balance. That's the whole reason why our risk management didn't follow through. Is because we're waiting through the pullback, and that's what caused us to lose in the first place on that particular trade. So yes, an entry off of 55 short is what I'd be looking for now. 20.2 to 21.8 to 23.7. I don't know if we'll get 55, but try 54 and a half. Got the entry at 54 and a half short. Our intended exit is 51. Took that profit there, made 312.50 back, or 375 back. Now down 3K on the day in the sim. I think there's a good probability that we can make it back. By the way, if y'all chilling, y'all hanging out, make sure you like, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. It's been kind of a slow day today in terms of overall YouTubing, but pretty decent momentum on the trades though. By the way, guys, if you're looking to earn funding in the futures market, make sure you check out Elite Trader Funding. These guys are super great. They have amazing customer service. They allow you to keep 100% of first $12,500 in profit. As far as the evaluations go, guys, you can earn as little as, like, get funded for as little as 10K. You can also get funded all the way up to $300,000. And if you use the link in my description, you'll actually get a permanent lifetime discount. So if you use the link plus the promo code in the description, it's JSBEST, that's JSBEST, you can use that and get a lifetime discount. The discount does vary. The JSBEST will give you whatever the best discount is at the time. So sometimes they run promotions and different things like that and have different offerings, but you'll get that discount for life. I'm currently doing the 50K evaluation, and I'm doing the 100K static evaluation as well. So we're doing the 50K eval right now, and we're currently up in that eval about 140 bucks. Our profit target is 3,000. So continue push to the downside, dropping below 50. I absolutely could have kept these shorts. Look at this, off of 3,800. Could you imagine if you shorted off of 3,800, rode this all the way down to 50? That 50 bucks there, that's like, what is that, 200 ticks? Yeah, 200 ticks. 12 and a half grand. It's actually, this 200 tick thing, like if you have the capability of being able to trade like that, where, you know, at 7:45 you're like, okay, I can hold this trade till like 8:45, you know, whatever. Like if you have the ability to do that, just hold the trade for an hour or so, then I think that there's a lot of profit opportunity in there. but it's just a matter of being like that confident, being able to take trades over that longer period of time. That's kind of challenging for me. Um, and maybe it's something I should work on because, frankly, like that honestly would have been one of the dopest trades of the century, of the year anyway, for my own self. For my own self, it would have been one of the dopest trades of the century. But you know, so 50 just crossed below the 200 moving average. This is looking more indicative of more downward momentum. 9 is well diverged. Basically, everything is set up to for more downward moves. Um, but do we come down and test these lows in the day? I think probably yes. It's looking like it's going that way. Even this right here would have been a dump short. Let's see if we can get a short off 47 and yeah, 15 ticks. Let's move down to 43 and a quarter. Yeah. I don't know if we can get an entry at 47, maybe 45. 46 maybe. Short off 46. We definitely could have got 47. Ran all the way up to 48. Going short off 46. Exit point is 42 and a quarter. Of course, we just got a yellow in the TTM. But I don't trust this now at this point. I mean, it's basically just been doing this over and over, where it like gives these little pops and then fails and then comes way back down. So just holding short. This is a dope track. If y'all like this music, this artist's name is Matt Large. I've been listening to a bunch of his stuff on Tidal and whatnot. I'm gonna measure this against a 3-minute chart so I can have a little bit more validity to this trade. 21 to 3, 23 to 25 to 26. Next one's at 48 or 45, which is next 3-minute candles in a minute. Five-minute chart just went red on the TTM as well. So 5-minute chart has the moving average, the 200 moving average at 44. So I'm actually going to move my my sell order up to 44. And TTM went from 16 down to 21 on this current candle. No. I got so close to hitting 44. I'm gonna actually cut this trade. Took a small loss of 62.5 on that. I think it would have been better off if I would have put a limit order in instead of hitting flat. Flat just markets out. But you can see the TTM on the 3 is kind of leveling off. So it went from 25.1 to 26 flat to 26.6. But prior to that, when you saw the downward momentum happening, you can see it went from 18.4 to 20.2 to 21.8 to 23.7. So you can see it's moving in like this multiple factors. So currently 26 to 26.7. Say 45. I'm streaming now for about an hour, 15 minutes or so. see. Went yellow on the TTM. 13.9 to 13.6 to 13.4. That's really not much momentum at all. 6.4 to now 1. So it took us 4 candles to not even move 1 point on the TTM. So that's really not enough momentum. Definitely our trade idea would have worked out for the short side. Scalp off of 44 would have been nice. From 44 down. Still not moving much in the TTM. Checking the 3. 3 putting in yet another red. 26 flat to 27.1 to now 27.6. Our low of the day. Well, our low of the day is this candle here. Our low of the day is down at like 37.10. But realistically, this is more of our actual low. It's like right here. Anyway, guys, I haven't checked in with y'all in a while. So, what's up? I've been like just stuck in those charts for the last like a while. So, weird day today. All in all, looking decent on the evaluation. I do think that we definitely could have managed our risk better today. So currently a loss of around 3K in the sim. Market's still falling. Like fell down way more than I expected this to. This lost so much, basically gave back all of its gains, the entirety of its gains. So if you remember, like way back here, I was saying that 40 would be our potential low, and here we are hitting 40. But isn't that crazy to think that off this 3800 level we rejected? Look at this, get this little Star Trek logo going on here, and it is like we gave back all of the gains on the day. And this was the area I was saying that would be our potential low area. We're actually breaking below that. So it's not going to count it though as a low because we even have this one here that's much lower that wicked out really bad on that candle. Yeah, so it's counting this as our low, which was last night, or really it was yesterday, 6:50 in the morning. So what we're seeing on the 1 is that we're continuing to push downward. All indicators are pushing to the downside. The TTM is probably one of our best exceptions, if you will, in terms of it, and that's not really trustworthy at this moment. I'm gonna add in like a Bollinger Band here real fast. Probably just remove it, but let's see. Make this like some completely different color. Just like sea green. Yeah, that's for the midline. I don't even want the midline. I want the lower band. Make that one sea green. Then I want the upper band. Yeah, orange is fine. Yeah, I just want this to show plot. Why? Okay, so there we go. Now we can see the Bollinger Band on that. Probably just remove this in a second, but I just wanted to see how this was flowing along the Bollinger Band, and it's flowing pretty closely to it, but it's come nowhere near hitting the upper portion of the band. All right, I'm gonna remove that now. Still want my chart to be cluttered. Volume's still really good, by the way. Look how many red candles this is in a row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Just 9 red candles in a row, just straight, just back to back. Just boom, boom, boom. Just red, red, red. That's crazy, man. Really, really crazy. Coming up on 9 o'clock here. It's fascinating to see this because I think that the psychology here is like, like essentially, okay, we see this bounce, we see this sort of like V-shaped pattern breakout, and I think that's the psychology. A lot of it is that like people think markets are going to continue to run up forever, or just continue to run up or pull back some and then run up even further. And when it continues to pull back like just endlessly, um, it really makes a big difference. It's kind of fascinating that this job markets article keeps popping up and being recirculated. Fed says to expect rising unemployment. Um, the Fed says that the 261,000 job creation is too strong. They want it to be weaker. Fed's Collins says too early to tell how the benchmark interest needs to go. I don't think that that's true, but you know, slower pace of interest rate hikes. Um, my own thought process on a lot of that stuff really is that just like they should have just let the recession happen instead of bolstering it with a bunch of stimulus. I mean, frankly, like if you're going to stimulate an economy with a bunch of made up money, you should expect calamity. And I think that either they genuinely believe their own BS and they're too uneducated enough to not understand the basics of supply and demand, or they knew it was going to happen and they did it anyway. And it's really is one or the other. It's like choose your poison. And I just think that like you really just had to. I think it was incredibly obvious when stimulus started getting put out there. I think it was incredibly obvious that it was going to cause inflation. I think like when you hear the word stimulus, you should hear the word inflation because that's really what happens. Like if you look back through history and just look at market conditions, every time that there was stimulus, like inflation happened. You know, markets may have gone up or may have gone down, but inflation happens pretty much every time that there is stimulus. And and I think that it's silly to expect um, to borrow trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars um, and increase the money supply so much and not expect inflation to happen. I think that's just silly. Um, and so I think that the fact that they're working on getting inflation under control, hopefully they didn't make a monster that they can't control, but you never know. Whatever the case is, it's all somewhat irrelevant because it's all just a spectrum anyway. Money is just currency in my philosophy anyway, my ideology. So it's current, so it goes with the flow. Um, and so, you know, if inflation goes up, just make more money. Basically, is my philosophy on it. Um, because it's not really about making more money or making less money. It's just making the same amount of money relative to the inflational change, which is all based on percentages anyway. The entire world operates off of percentages, and having that be the case, you know, I just look at it from, well, just make a certain percentage based off the money supply and based off of inflation. It should be fine. It's one of those things that could be easier said than done, but you know. Um, it's just like a psychology shift for the most part. Speaking of psychology, there are some books that you guys may want to check out. One of them is The Psychology of Money. Um, that one is a book that I'm currently reading at the moment, and and yeah, if you guys want to read along, you also check it out. I wish I had it down here. It's actually in my other room upstairs. Um, 12.8 to 12.3 on the TTM. But I think it'd be kind of fun to do like a little book club type thing. Can't we drop so far below 40 that we're all the way down at 37.30 now? Look for a little bounce off here, off of 30. Just look for a move to 31. There we go, we got that. Let's 250 back. For a little bounce here off 26. Entered at 25 and a half. Looking for a move 26 and a half. Got that. That's 250 back. Now it's pulling back some. Definitely fell lower than we did at the open. So now this becomes our line in the sand. It's 3,700, 3,710. I think that will actually start bouncing from here. I think this is the low. $11.6 to $10.6 on the 1 minute TTM. New candle now entered at 29. Looking for a bounce up towards 35. From 10.8 to 10.1. From 11.6 to 10.8. 10.4, that's too much, or not enough rather, of a pullback. For an exit then off 30. I do think that 35 will play out though. Ah, still regained some of our money back on the day. I think scalping really is just kind of the way to go all day now at this point. 10-8 to 10-3 to 10. Uh, Hopefully this goes into the 9 territory. Just want to see this push back up to 30. It's not doing that though. Jeez. Fat loss on that trade. Probably you should just shut it down there because this is probably our biggest losing day of the week. This is our biggest losing day of the. We haven't had a losing day this bad since like October or beginning of September. Beginning of September was our last day like this. Um, how are we on the overall account? We're still up about 5K or so on the week, so that's good. But that's crazy. I can't believe this is still dropping. It's kind of like, where's the floor, you know? I'm shocked that this has dropped $100 in the last hour and a half. And I guess I'm shocked just because every time that it was like about to do like a little bit of a breakout, it would kind of stair step and kind of form stair stepping. But I'm also shocked just because it continues to drop, like, in not like a little bit of time, like it's dropping big, like a lot at once. So I guess a short of 25 really, I guess I just feel like I just need to be like shorting the entire time, but yeah, I don't know. Short of 25, I guess, if we can get it. I think it might be too high. Especially because we moved all the way down to 18 and a half. So short off 20. Entered in short at 19 and a quarter. Wanted to go off 20, but it looks like our price ladder moved on us. Took a small trade, downside. So, alright guys. Pretty grateful that we didn't continue to trade in the evaluation. We're ending green there, so that's good. But just not seeing the market turn around anytime soon. Like it just continues to like more or less tease tease the turnaround. But I mean, like I'm actually shocked just to see like how low this is going. Um, just because like when you guys first joined in, we were up 2K or so, and the market was continuing to rip. Downward pullback is expected, but the weight and the rate at which this pulled back is somewhat alarming. Um, and obviously, every 5 minutes, I get a new article that says that the Fed says that the job creation is too strong. Um, so, like every single 5 minutes, there's a new article. It's like somebody's just recirculating that same article. Um, 2 years Treasury yields builds on 15-year high after October data, and stocks turn lower after jobs report on Wall Street Journal. So jobs report was 261K, which is, I think we actually have that up on our screen here. Pull up the calendar. Bum, bum. Yesterday had so many economic reports. Today had Today, the unemployment rate, which stayed steady at 3.5%. Um, Average hourly earnings matched the forecast at 0.3%. Um, we don't have the labor force numbers. And at 7 o'clock, the Boston Fed president spoke. Non-farm payrolls level change. So I think the forecast is on the right. No, the previous is on the right. The forecast in the middle, and the actual is this one, this column. So we don't have this number at all updated yet. Boom, boom. But all right, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and shut it down there. We're gonna take this L in the sim. No big deal. We'll come back on Monday refreshed. We are taking a win though in the evaluation, so happy to be green in the area that really matters, and I'm gonna go ahead and shut it down there, and start enjoying my weekend. But before I go, make sure you guys join into our Discord group. It is joelstrait.com/Discord. And welcome yourself. Come in, say hi. There's a link in the description of this video as well. So you guys can actually just click that link if you don't like typing. Um, but join in the group, say hi, say what up. And also, too, if you're looking to earn funding in the futures market, make sure you check out Elite Trader Funding. Currently, I'm earning funding in the 50K evaluation and in the 100K static evaluation. So, if you guys are interested in taking advantage of that, you can use the link in the description and use the promo code JSBEST in order to get a lifetime discount on your entire plan. With the 50K evaluation, my profit target is $3,000 and my drawdown is $2,000, and I can take up to 8 contracts. It's very competitive if you look at some of the other prop firms out there in the market. And then on top of that, when you add in the promo code and the lifetime discount, it's hands down a win when it comes to the other profit or the other prop firms that are out there in the market. You can actually get funded all the way up to 300K. So if you're a big baller, you want to be, the 300K is definitely the plan that is not available everywhere, and pretty uncommon to find. But 300K, you can take a pretty sizable discount off of this, utilizing the promo code JSBest in the link. Um, and the link in the description. So, alright, guys. Oh, another thing to note, these are one-step evaluations, so you don't need to do multiple steps like you do with other prop firms. You don't need to pass it once and then pass it again. It literally is one step and you're done and you're funded. And they do have a really solid Discord group with great customer service as well. So then if you're more used to some of the other prop firms and you like the traditional style of the evaluations where the drawdown moves up with you every day, they do have that sort of the older style, the end of the day drawdown evaluations. This is the same type of style that you'll see at some of the other prop firms out there. I'm not going to mention names because I don't like mentioning other brand names. But but yeah, so go ahead and check these guys out. Here's the normal style that you might be used to at other prop firms, and then there's the one-step evaluations. Personally, I like the one-step evaluations. I think that they're in my opinion, I think that they offer a little bit more flexibility and freedom when it comes to your trade style, and I think that really, really matters, because everybody's trade style is a little bit different, and even if we learn the same strategy, we still probably see those candles and those charts and algorithms all differently. But yeah, guys, having said all that, probably gonna shut it down here. We are getting a little bit of a turnaround. Is the 9 above the 12, though? That's all I care about. 9's above 12. Looks like we're about to get a cyan switch. We've been faked out like this like 35 times today. Is it going to be the same case? I'm not even going to take a trade, though, to the next candle, which is in 30 seconds. Super close to a cyan switch, though. And finally getting that bounce off of such a drastic drop. It looks like we might get that 1 minute candle to make a new high. The 9 is above the 12 currently, but it needs to I think we need to wait for the next candle, but this is looking pretty solid. Next candle opening red on a cyan switch. I'll stick with you for a minute here just because this breakout. 9 is now solidly above 12, and it's all coming into ahead of potentially a 1226 crossover. Joining the bid right here. Should have taken the entry when the pullback was higher, but that's okay. And we're looking for a move up to. So our entry is at 31.75. Look for an exit off 36 and 3/4. I might put the exit right at 36, which is right around where the EMA 35 is. It's a fresh cyan switch from 0.6 yellow to 0.4 cyan, with a possible crossover on the 1 minute chart. Brand new candle forming now. 9 above 12, but not crossing over yet. And if it doesn't get that crossover, I'm out of this trade. 0.3 cyan to 0.7 cyan. That's pretty hefty pullback. This is the first cyan candle that we've seen like for an hour, and it completely failed. Pulling back heavy. Jeez, oh my gosh. Entered at 31.75 and just ripped downward. Just measuring this against the 3 right now. The 3 did go yellow a few minutes ago, and 31.9 to 29 to 28. Measuring that against the 5. 5 is still red. Next 5 minute candle is at 9:15, which is in about 25 seconds. $15 left in this 5. Pulling back up. So this 5 minutes actually ending like a doji at the top. We've got a yellow on the 5. This is looking nice for upward move. Currently a break even on this trade. Checking the 3 minute chart. Got a possible crossover on the 3 minute chart. And 9:12, 9:15. This is our brand new 3 minute candle. And TTM went from -27 to -25. This 3 minute candle has to get above this previous 3. So it's got to get above 32, 37, 32 in order to actually see this breakout happen. Cyan now stacking 0.4 to 1.9 to now 3.3. So that's looking pretty strong. I'm jumping into the eval here. And where's my entry? Join the bid there.
Order filled.
Entered it at 32 3/4, looking to exit at 33.75. I don't like that pullback. Come on. Cutting that.
Order filled.
Down 231 in the eval. Unfortunately. It looks like it might be even pulling back up too. But we cut that because we hit our risk. So puts us back in red on the eval, unfortunately, and we're doing so well. and now it's pulling back up. So it actually would have even hit our trade. Whoa, that's a huge rip. Got that full trade on the sim side. Jeez, I wish I didn't cut that. Tried to join the bid there, missed the entry. Huge rip up. This is what we were waiting for most of the day. So we made a grand or so back on that last trade. Wish we didn't take that L on the eval. I didn't need to cut it. Really should have just held through it, through that pullback. But it ripped down so much and then ripped back up. So it was like, I don't know, man. But we did get 26 in the sim, so that's nice. Now looking for an 8-tick move. Join the bid here off of 42.
Order filled.
Join the bid there in the eval off 43 and a quarter.
Order filled.
Just got 8 ticks in the eval. So we quickly fixed that red move when we were down 231. Now we're up 247 on the day. So we almost tripled our earnings in the eval today. So that's awesome. I'm going to shut it down there. I'm not going to push the fates of the gods, although the market is finally trend reversing, which we've been waiting for an hour plus. But it is what it is. We're green in the eval, $285, so which is great because we just made $500 back on that trade. This was an insane move off of 37.20s, ripping all the way up like 17. Actually, that's like $20. That's like 100 ticks right here, just in this like couple minutes, from 25 up to 45. $20. What is that? That's 86. 20 times 4. Yeah, 86. 80 freaking ticks. Dude, that is insane. Especially in 5 minutes. 86 in 5 minutes. Imagine you had 5 contracts of that and you rode it the whole way. That's worth 5K. That's pretty incredible. So, bounces off of this, and the TTM went nuts. Look at this. From 3.5 to, yeah, just continue to go up. We didn't need to take that loss there. We honestly shouldn't have. I just think I got scared out of my position just as it ripped back down, and we've had so many false breakouts today. So all right, let's go ahead and shut it down there, and let's do our math real fast. Okay, so we took 115 contracts in the sim. So let's multiply that by $4.36. So $501.40 in fees. We lost $2,500 in the sim today. So that means we lost $3,001.40 of our losses. So 115 divided by 5 contracts. We took 23 trades. And we're going to divide. So we did 3,001 and 40. And then we're going to divide that by our 23 trades. So we took an average loss of 130.5. So $130.50 as an average loss today. Not bad, all things considered, because the vast majority of what we're making each day is we're earning around $200 to $250 per trade every day. So if you really look at it, we've actually kept our losses relatively small in terms of on a per trade basis in regards to what we normally do. Normally, our average earnings are around 200 to 250 per trade, and our average loss is around $130 per trade. So over time, we'll actually average upward, which we currently are doing. 2 weeks ago, we were at 142K in our eval in our sim account, and currently we're at 150K. So not as much of an earning as we were at, because we had earned 20 some odd K, but now we've earned roughly just over 8. But nonetheless, we're still moving in the right direction to the upside. That's all that really matters, is that you're growing your account balance. Even if you're growing your account balance slowly but surely, it's all good. I'm going to shut down the evaluation today. We made $285 in the eval today. Really happy about that. Green 285 on the overall evaluation. So that's awesome. And all right, guys, let's go ahead and shut it down there. I love and appreciate each and every one of you. I will see you guys in the Discord group over the weekend. I hope everybody has an awesome weekend. By the way, when I check in the Discord group on the weekend, I usually only check it for a couple of minutes and then I'm out, because my ideal lifestyle is that I want to be able to have my weekends to myself and to my family as much as I possibly can. I do this partially for the community, and then I do this partially so that I can own my own time as well. Um, so I want to be able to have both, really, the best of both worlds. But having said all that, Optimus, I'm gonna go ahead and enjoy my weekend and spend some time with my wife. Love and appreciate all of you guys, and we'll see you on Monday at 7:30 Pacific, 10:30 market time. Same bat time, same bat channel. Glad we were able to come back a bit and even make even some more profit in the eval. See you guys, and peace out.